Hello. This presentation will be on the Child Welfare Initiative's Extraordinary Families Program. We are excited about the opportunity to speak with you today on the importance of program evaluation. I would like to take a moment to recognize the research team, Judy Hermosillo, Alex Kemp, Melissa Kalbarczyk, and myself, Evan Holloway. I will be taking you through the content of the presentation, which will establish the usefulness of the evaluation framework we have developed for the Extraordinary Families Program. Over the next 15 minutes, we're going to cover the what, which is basic information to assist in understanding program evaluation. The why, which is where we'll define the social problem and the role of meeting the resulting needs through programming. A program overview, and simply put, Extraordinary Families is a program that delivers extraordinary commitment to extraordinary children. We will touch on the key elements of research that inform the proposed evaluation framework, linking program inputs to program outcomes. Criteria evaluability and methods is meant to offer an analytic perspective and insight on the process of developing the evaluation framework components. And finally, costs and benefits of implementing this work. In policy and program evaluation, we study, appraise, and improve social programs. First, we collect the dots. Following a process commonly referred to as an analytic ladder, our team collected data on extraordinary families to create a program logic model and a set of specific questions that would continue to guide the research. Then we started to connect the dots. Using analytical methods, our team has developed a research design that will provide critical information for increasing the effectiveness and efficiency of this program. Given the collaborative structure of Extraordinary Families, our evaluation framework is useful because it eliminates bias and instead focuses on assessing and resolving the challenges of foster parent recruitment and retention. The contribution of our likely findings will be in providing an opportunity to examine existing training efforts, educational resources, and support systems for participants in the child welfare system, particularly those involved with the projected outcome of increased therapeutic foster care providers. We have developed a framework for a program evaluation so that you and your team can continue to operate to achieve the program goals. Program evaluation has many benefits. In this particular instance, it is useful for identifying the intervention points among such non-static target populations like foster parents and foster youth. So let's get right to it. The Extraordinary Families Program specifically addresses the placement of older children with emotional and behavioral challenges into permanent foster homes. Because the need for foster home goes largely unmet and the turnover within the foster parent community is so high, the objective of Extraordinary Families Program is to target families and individuals who exhibit a commitment to providing a safe home for children with emotional and behavioral challenges. The Child Welfare Initiative, or CWI for short, is not a direct service provider. The Extraordinary Families Program recruits parents for therapeutic foster care programs that are run by private agencies known as foster family agencies. The foster family agencies, also known as FFAs, operate under a contractual memorandum of understanding to provide CWI with information related to best practices in supporting foster families with children who have severe conduct disorders or severe mental health issues. The actionable idea behind the Extraordinary Families Program is to implement research-based approaches towards therapeutic foster parent retention. As a policy implementation group, CWI's partnerships with FFAs provide a direct service line for retention strategies. The provision of adequate foster care is such a complex issue, resulting in a diverse network of public and private relationships. As we began our evaluation design process, preliminary discussions with stakeholders yielded a better understanding of the program moving forward. One of the first key components in developing the evaluation framework was creating a program logic model. In the logic model, we articulated the program theory of extraordinary families through a series of inputs, activities, outputs, and outcomes. A critical evaluation of the program theory revealed an issue that may affect consistency of the program's outcomes related to foster children. The emphasis of the foster parent's experience slightly overshadows the child's experience in the short term. There is a lack of child satisfaction metrics or numerical outputs in the available Extraordinary Families program data that describes the child's integration process, transition, and behavioral improvement. Within the single demographic of Los Angeles County youth in foster care, there is an overwhelming diversity of need. Having an adequate supply of foster parents means agencies can improve the capacity for providing youth in the child welfare system with foster homes that will meet this variability. However, the recruitment and retention of foster parents is constantly challenged by the perceived deficits in care for foster children and support structures that exist for families. Social and situational influences we uncovered demonstrate that the lack of continuity and service barriers contribute to an estimated 50% of foster parents exiting the child welfare system after their first year. There's also a legal context involved with therapeutic foster care programs. In 2011, a settlement of a federal class action lawsuit mandated the provision of intensive mental health services for children in the state of California and Los Angeles County foster care system. While there are specific numbers associated with this settlement, we've found those numbers to be arbitrary in the face of such an overwhelming need. Therapeutic foster care research shows that a stable environment that is linked to theoretical and applied outcomes provides foster children with the opportunity to learn how to live, work, and maintain relationships in a family setting. And the Extraordinary Families program operates via targeted word-of-mouth recruitment campaigns. The strategy is to use direct feedback from the foster parents in assessing common traits that contribute to retention. The program cites empathy, patience, and conscientiousness amid the most desirable traits for therapeutic foster care parents. Working from stakeholder interviews, program assessments, and research, our team has developed 3 delivery-based program questions. In the final report, you will find a design matrix on these key points of inquiry that relates each question to the information sources and methods. For our first research question in designing the evaluation framework, we begin with determining the program's ability to provide the programmatic support needed to keep foster parents and grow the selection of foster parent applicants. Assessing the effectiveness of retaining foster parents, which is Extraordinary Families' main output objective, will be part of the summative evaluation. The best measure in this case would be length of stay by months of a foster parent after recruitment, and then comparing that number against the program objective for recruitment and retention. The information will be derived from data and interviews of Extraordinary Families foster parents. Our second research question speaks to Extraordinary Families' main responsibility of recruiting families for FFAs. Recruiting quality families who show promising signs of commitment to the program is directly linked to retention. Accruing qualitative and quantitative measurements, and then evaluating the results of each of those segments like recruitment, placement, and retention, individually will allow conclusions to be drawn from the life cycle of the program. Extraordinary Families' overarching goal is to improve foster children's transition out of foster care as young adults. The research question will explore the psychosocial well-being of foster children affiliated with the program. As part of the formative evaluation, standardized measures such as the Aschenbach Child Behavior Checklist will be used to capture the response of staff, children, and foster parents at different stages of placement. The efficacy of Extraordinary Families is based upon its ability to produce the outcome of placing children in the care of therapeutic foster care certified foster parents. The 4 elements listed in this slide each include short-term and long-term outcomes that relate to the program elements of recruitment, retention, and placement. Although CWI acts as an evaluation sponsor in this situation, there are notable caveats with both target populations. The first is foster parent participation. We are using a survey as a data collection method in our framework, and we have anticipated a reticence among foster parents to speak negatively about their role. The second is privacy concerns for foster children. There are privacy laws related to medical and educational records that may inhibit the determinants for quality of care. The potential contributions from these stakeholder groups make them very valuable evaluation participants. We have taken every precaution in our design to promote approachability, feasibility, and quality. Social need is highly apparent within this program. Foster children, and particularly ones that Extraordinary Families targets, are likely to migrate from one foster home to another until they age out of the system. In pursuit of horizontal equity, we have developed an evaluation framework that measures outcomes over the long run. Based on initial conversations with stakeholders who indicated an artificial division between provision of public and private mental health foster care, we have used research from government entities and private sector providers to help us develop our evaluation framework. Our product also reflects the interpretation of foster families as assets. While cost-benefit analyses are typically known in quantifiable units relating costs to outcomes, we felt that there were other forms of equally valuable capital involved in the foster care system. Using economic fiscal capital to invest in human capital, which is things like knowledge and skills, that will generate social capital in both of these marginalized target populations. Our evaluation framework is sensitive to the political and humanist themes involved in CWI's work. We are so happy to answer any questions you may have about the material covered today or program evaluation. We appreciate your time and the opportunity to be of service.